Hi, I'm Rhenda.
I'm Jim.
We're Hardiness Approach, and we're going to go find our little calf. We've had some time this morning where we had the person who sold us the calf come over.
The cow.
Sold us the cow come over, and she just put our minds at ease so much and showed us how to do things, and that was great.
Well, we'll get a little more history on Missy and some of the things that she likes a lot that we didn't know about. That
you guys will have to show you one of the things.
Yeah, it's pretty
really
awesome.
Cool. And then we had to make a trip to a farm store, a milker store, to look for a part and have them check out what wasn't working, and that was reassuring. So now we're ready to...
As it turns out, we didn't need the part.
I know.
And that's going to be the subject for another video.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the milker, because we've learned a lot about milkers.
We have.
There's some that we'd like to share to say that milkers are good and you should have one. And
all you senior steaders who are going to get a cow, you need to know how to buy a milker and what to look for and what not to look for.
Yeah.
For what not to buy.
You can spend a lot of money, you can waste a lot of money, so we're gonna have some suggestions that can help with that.
But right now, we're gonna go find...
Well, we're checking on this little calf every couple of hours to be sure everything's fine. So far, so good.
Yep, we have not seen her eat yet, but she had a belly that had milk in it this morning. They showed us how to check the belly. So we're gonna go find her. Him.
Be in the barn.
She might be in the barn. Do you want to open that? Okay, time to go look in the barn.
Yeah, she's in the barn. What, honey?
I hear her.
I'm not sure she's here.
Yeah, right. I hear her somewhere.
She's somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, she's here. Are you two laying down in here, taking it easy?
Where's my babe? Oh.
Right there in the corner.
Right
go
there.
turn the lights on there a little bit.
Missy, did anybody ever tell you you're a very big cow? Yeah. Yeah, you got some bad flies. We got to get rid of some of these flies. So, how's baby doing? How's baby doing, huh? Baby hot?
Are you up and about, Missy girl?
So we need to have the baby stand up so we can fill her belly.
Hey, can you get your little one to stand up for me, Missy? I'm going to do that, okay? Is that okay with you, sweetie? Hey, little one. Hey, brother, you think he'll stand up?
Well, she's not super bagged up, so maybe he's been eating.
Yeah, you know, he feels like he's got stuff in his tummy. You've been eating from mommy, have you? Yeah? That's very good. Yeah, brisket. We're happy about that. Those flies are awful, aren't they? Oh, yes.
I get a good picture of him. He's just a dark shadow in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We learned about brushing Missy. We'd been brushing her a little bit. We didn't understand how much that she could be brushed, but we also didn't understand some of the things that she likes.
And she loves having her tail done. And she'll raise it up and let it be done. And this morning, when our new friend who sold us Missy was doing it, she had her little hind leg going out like when a puppy when it gets done. I mean, look at her. She just really, really likes it.
So I've never known a cow to do this kind of thing. It's kind of funny.
It's sweet.
It is.
She's such a sweet cow.
Let me see if she'll do it. She's kind of holding still there. Get that tummy wiped off. Get those flies out there. Go away, flies. I'm gonna try here on her neck and see. She like this too? Yes. I know that she likes her neck and her ears really done.
When we were talking about breeding Missy the next time, we will probably breed her in 3 months and do an AI. She's never been AI'd, but we want to probably cross her with a Jersey bull. But we want it to be a female. So we want to be able to choose so that we have her successor as our milker. And that's one of the things that we want to be able to do so that she will deliver in May and not in the middle of the cold or not in the middle of the heat. This was just a little bit too hot and this is our hottest week that we've had. And so this little baby's just kind of curled up in the corner. So much to learn, but they really do maintain and take care of themselves a lot, which is really nice. We just are excited to get the milk. And I should have showed you this morning, I had the colostrum, and I will show you. Yesterday's milk, which is total straight colostrum, versus today's, which is partial colostrum. And it's so quick the way it changed so fast. We will not drink the milk for probably about 5 to 7 days. She says when she gets really, really full, then there's a possibility of having broken blood vessels and some blood in the milk. And so when you pour it into the jars, you'll see the cream, then the bloodline, and then the milk. And so we will give that to our animals and not use that. Okay, little one.
Today our temperature is hot. It's up in the 90s. Humidity's in the upper 40s. So a little hot for all the animals, humans as well as chickens. Thank you, Chickie. So they're exhibiting the hot. They have a little bit of shade, and they can also get in the coop, which it's a little cooler in there. We looking for ways to help them be cooler. We put some of these pans out here with water in it, and the water is still cool, and it's there. I haven't seen anybody dip their feet in it yet. We've been told they'll do that. I was skeptical, and so far my skepticism has been true. But we're going to experiment with other ways to help them keep a little cooler. A little more shade this time of day would be nice, but they do have this little bit and they can get inside. Now we keep plenty of water, and I keep changing it out so that it doesn't get warm. Let me check the temperature on it right now. It's not hot or anything, so it's not too bad. It's not ice cold, but there's no way it could be out here. But I keep plenty in there so that they don't go thirsty, and they're pretty eager for that. We need more things for them to enjoy eating. We gave them some scraps from the kitchen. They didn't eat all of those, so I don't know if it was what we gave them or if they just aren't hungry. Not sure, but trying to help them endure this heat time.
Let's just say I opened the door and one of them's like, how can I get out? How come you guys are out and I'm not? Come here.
So these are the, how many weeks old are they now?
You know, I wish I knew. It's like they're only 2.5 weeks old, but they're really big, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking they were a little older when we got them than we realized.
I gotta get this one out. I can't get this door.
Anyway, we've had them here inside of the coop where the others live, and they've been in this dog crate.
There you go.
for what it's worth, so that they can start socializing safely. And when we can spend time in here, we come in and we let them out of the dog crate and let them run around, which they really enjoy. And we do what we can to curb the pecking order so that they don't get attacked.
I'm gonna, we need to get one of our screens and put here.
Yeah, get a little more airflow through here.
I don't think this door's been, it looks like a haunted house.
It does.
Oh my word. I don't think it's been opened in months or years. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Well, you closed them out?
I didn't mean to.
Okay, there we go.
I got them fresh water.
There you go, kiddos. Yeah. Just have a little fuzz on their heads, but I think they're pushing 3 weeks. So still a little bit young to mingle with the other chickens, totally unsupervised.
But the other chickens are very interested in them.
Yeah, well, the youngest ones of the other group spend the night on top of this cage.
Pooping on them.
Well, I don't
Isn't
think that's their intention, but yeah, that's what's going on.
You know, you put it up to me, Jim. Probably one of the hardest things about homesteading for anybody, any age, is temperature. So whether it's extremely hot or whether it's extremely cold. And, yep, you can show there. And so you have to cope both ways. And right now it's hot, and it's not even as hot. But they did say Thursday and Friday we're going to be really, really hot. Excited to find out that one day next week it's going to be 75. Do you want me to put some feed in? There's not very much.
You know, it's time to, yeah, we probably need to clean it out too.
Okay,
So.
I'll let you go do that. Want me to hold this?
Yeah.
Hey, little ones. Hey, little ones. So 1 Americana and 3 Delawares. And chicken's looking in going, okay, what are you guys doing? Hot chicks. Hot chicks. We will not leave these chickens without us here. We only have them out for a few minutes while we're here. They didn't hesitate to come out though.
Well, they're going to learn little bits at a time. The others are going to get used to them. So come time to totally integrate them, they'll all know each other and be friends. Or have the normal chicken pecking order. That will never go away. That's been from the beginning and will continue.
What is that?
That's the starter. And this is the layer. I kind of mingle it because we mingled chickens. And it all seems to go away.
Okay. All right. Hey, you little ones. It's time to come home. See? Here comes one of the blackies. You're not a black one. What thing? I'm getting grass for them. Oh, they love it.
Hey, you want to film as
Yep,
I do this?
I am.
For those of you who haven't seen these kinds of waterers before, I'm going to show you. This normally sits right here just as a place to keep it. Because it's the way that it works, I'm going to be taking the top off to fill it and so forth. But first thing I'm going to do is kind of get all of the stuff that grows and sets in here loosened and wiped off, so I can just dump it out of here, and we'll have fresher, cleaner water sitting in this bottom part down here. So out that goes, that's cleaner. So now when I take this off, if I had left this on down here, then the water would just come pouring out of there.
Off, yeah.
Yeah, if I left this off, the water would just pour out, because that's the way. It's kind of, I'm not sure which physical principle that is, but that's the way these work. With that on there, the water stays in here like we want it to. We're going to add some water to it.
At some time in the future, we will have a water spigot on this, connected to this little barn, and then just a hose to fill things.
It'll be a lot easier.
And what we also have to do is get a covered top on here. We used to have a tarp, but...
So this has this seal right here, so when I put this lid on here, you got to get them straight. Feels pretty straight, so it's going to take that seal, and now it's sealed where there's like a vacuum in there. And this will throw water out for a little bit, but then once it's sees that it's totally full, then it stops pouring out of there. But if I'll show you what happens if I break the seal up here. We'll lose some of the water.
Oh, whoa, good example.
Yeah, so but that's how those work. Those screw on there, so they're always available for you. And I'm going to add some of this water, it's still relatively cool, into these, give them a little more in these. And these are the ones where we put their scraps when we have scraps.
And can you pull a little bit more of these and throw them in this end?
Yeah.
I'll watch the door. Oh, they're drinking the water you just poured in. Nice and cool. Anyway, we made this a long time ago when we first lived here. And it's not dug into the ground, it's just sitting on the ground and it supports each other. Yes, we had to level it out. But now we're going to go back and put wood across and put tin across it so that they have more shade, and it really has to get moved up to one of the high priorities since it's so hot right now. Look at that squash growing in there. Yay. And there's some growing in here. Yay. That's exciting. Oh, Jim, I think this one's finally ready to be put up, and it has a huge tomato on it.
Oh, okay. I need to go get a whip. Let me see fast here.
So some of you may have the same problem I do. If I come out and touch squash plants, especially cucumber plants, even tomato plants without long sleeves or gloves, I break out really bad. Just long enough for it to sting and have to wash it off and wait for it to go away. But Jim says that he thinks the plants put out stuff so that they can protect themselves, and that makes sense. But they like to get me. So if you could do...
We're gonna show you what we use. We have clips like this. I don't know if it's the best.
They're tomato clips.
But they're tomato clips. They work very well for us, and we review. I don't know how many gardens.
Oh my goodness!
Over and over, we've been able to reuse them.
And this one we're just gonna barely.
Finally high enough that we can start supporting him. And there's a lot of folks who don't bother supporting their tomatoes. They just kind of let them be natural. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not how we're doing things. So we want to keep them off the ground
right here.
To over that direction.
Yeah, then he can stand up a little straighter.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
But it's our feeling if we can keep them up off the ground that perhaps we'll have a healthier plant.
There.
So
I mean, look at the size on this tiny little plant. It's crazy.
This is a weed right here.
Okay, so I'm going to go put on gloves so that I can come out and work on tomatoes. We are going out to the barn to spray our little tiny animals, our great big cows, with natural fly spray. We have used the recipe from Prairie Home before and kind of worked, but we are using Art and Breeze this time. Sorry, it's kind of dark. But it's not going to work as well yet because I don't have any citronella. So I've got to get the citronella, but we are going to spray and get rid of all the manure out in the back. Listen to it. This thing work? I know, you don't like it very much. Come on. Zoom is here. There's baby. We finally have proof that baby's eating. Baby's tummy has felt full, but there, we're finally seeing it. So that gives us the most peace of mind we've had. We've got the fly spray on them, cleared the flies off of them. Now we see baby eating. And what we're doing right now is cleaning up all the manure that has been here right outside their door for so long. And we would love to have a skid to do it, but we don't. So we're doing it by hand. Morning, day 3 of having our cow. But I'm in the garden this morning. It's going to be another hot day, and I know out in the west they're breaking records everywhere, and it's hit the Midwest. So my encouragement is that next week there's supposed to be one day that's 75, so I'm living for that day. I thought I would just give you a little bit of a garden tour on how our beautiful garden is doing. We could not be more thrilled with our garden. I mean, yeah, you can always be more thrilled, but we're starting to have vines grow up the arbor, and we just keep weaving them in and out. When we start having fruit that's big, we'll tie it up inside. And we finally are starting to get some beans growing. That's so good. These are the big red scarlet noodle beans. And our tomato plants are starting to grow up them. And one of our cows, I think, is in heat. She mooed a lot last night. There's Lazy Katie. But I want you to see these tomatillos. They're just beautiful. Just billowing out here all over the place. They're just all over. And I think they're so beautiful. The tomatillo plants remind me of hot air balloon. So they're my hot air balloon plant. But good morning, Jim.
We doing a garden tour today?
We are. I told him I would wait to talk about our success on day 3 of the cows till you got here.
Okay.
These are our zucchini squash and our yellow squash, and they're both doing very well. My flowers are doing really well. The peppers, but let me just go down here. So this is our tomatoes, and we just keep at least once a week, usually 2 or 3 times a week. We sit down, he's on one side, I'm on the other, and we take off any suckers and tie up the next parts that need to be tied up. And you can see that we are loaded with tomatoes. And we're really, really excited about that because we feel like this year they'll finally be able to turn red and not just have to harvest them green. So that makes us thrilled. Look at my beautiful sunflowers. Thanks to Katie who got those for us. And our black-eyed Susans. These are the sweet potatoes, and I need to put some neem oil on them because it looks like their leaves are getting eaten. So that is something we will do this morning. My onions are doing really well. I'm just letting them kind of grow above the ground. Something that Tim Murphy, that we used to live next to in Nevada, taught me. And look how well they're doing. I'm super excited about that. Thank you, Tim. Look at this gorgeous Swiss chard. Whoa. Okay, Swiss chard today. And my herbs are just doing amazing, and I love coming out into my slipper garden and just harvesting herbs and cooking with fresh herbs and putting them in everything. Here's my peppers. All the peppers are doing really well. They're starting to set flowers. No, it's a little bit early for peppers to come on. But this is what we are harvesting today. That and that.
2 of them. Wow, I guess I hadn't been watching real closer, looking at them thinking they were the same one or something.
And then we soak them in a salt water solution in the sink and let any bugs come out of them. And the chickens get the rest. All the leaves, which helps keep the chickens cool because these are full of water. And I brought a basket. Whoa. I didn't kiss my cabbage, but I could kiss my cauliflower. And I'm going to make cauliflower rice out of this and just freeze it so that I have it to use. It's not too bad, is it?
Not too bad at all.
Okay, let's keep going down.
Well, let me go ahead and head these towards. Oh, is it?
We're harvesting all of these. I want to get them all out.
We're going to start losing them to bugs.
Yeah, I want them all out. I'm just so thrilled. So that will mean a total of 7 cauliflowers that we had. Whoa. Oh, 6. That was really got a lot of little bugs on it, huh?
No, I don't know that those are bugs. I think it's the droppings.
Oh, okay. Droppings. Something. So we're pulling up all of our brassicas.
We've gotten hit really hard by bugs. And
they don't like it at this time of year. So we're going to try them again later, in the later part of the year. There's one broccoli for me. And
I can do these.
Jim, we're doing really good.
Yeah.
Well, we won. They did not win.
No, we got a lot out of this. Like they say, if nothing is eating, besides you, eating your garden, you're not part of the ecosystem. And we definitely are part of the ecosystem.
Okay, so we can pull all 5 of those up and give them to the chicks.
On my way.
Perfect.
Say, I want to get my gloves on.
Yeah. Do you want me to get one of the barrels? Wheelbarrows?
No, I can carry it.
Okay. And Jim, this one needs to come up too. That cabbage that's just kind of weird.
You don't want to try this?
It kind of is a deformed cabbage.
I-
It's not a normal cabbage. You want to wait till tomorrow to give that to the chicks so they have more?
Yeah, they're going to have plenty.
Okay. And I think, yeah, these are just been doing amazing. They decided to leave the Swiss chard alone. So what we discovered is they like the kale. No? They weren't doing either, were they? The Swiss chard or the kale?
Yeah, they didn't touch them. I mean, barely. Not
Barely. They were touching the Swiss chard in the beginning. So we're really, really happy with our garden. We're really, really happy with our garden. Let me show you a front view. When people drive in, we just get oohs and ahs. It's quite nice. So the little well house looks kind of cute, stuck in the garden with the arch and everything. So now we will go ahead and plant something else into wherever we're pulling up holes, making holes, and be able to do that. So I would like to show you our potatoes and corn. Corn is pretty high. Yesterday I was telling Jim that we had one row that was up to this high, and he said no we don't, and there it is. We have one little section here that must be diagonally fertilized because it really, really is growing. But we have 3 or 4 different kinds of corn in here. The corn that we have down here is the baby corn, the tiny little ones that you put in salads. And so it's a completely different kind of corn than this corn. What's the matter, Tillamook, huh? What's the matter? Well, yeah, I know. We're trying to get out early before the heat, and it's still out here. We're pretty happy with the success of everything, and we realize that we have only been here a little over 2.5 months, and we're harvesting that much from our garden and having a garden, so we're feeling pretty good about that. Oh, that's a lot to pick up, Jim.
Well, it's not heavy, it's just all over the place.
I'll come behind you and pick up leaves. And I'll follow you to the chickens. We'll show the cycle of life here. They get really scared when we throw it in and then jump back and come say, oh, thank you, thank you.
Well, anytime they see us coming, they run to the door because they are expecting that maybe a treat's on the way.
I will get the door.
Okay.
You silly chicks. Well, there's enough to keep you cool today.
They'll be back.
Oh yeah.